if they continue to play like this, they'll be okay.
And I think defensively, just game plan wise, you have to continue to make the guys you want shooting the ball shoot the ball. You know, Amen Thompson has to shoot, shots from the perimeter. Jabari Smith Jr. has shot the ball well. Tari Eason, etc. You can't allow Durant and Şengün to beat you.
And KD most likely will play on Tuesday, I have a feeling. For D-Fish, Big Game, Mike Trudell, and Chris McGee, thanks for watching. Welcome to Access Sportsnet. Lakers brought to you by your Toyota dealers. We make it easy. Chris McGee, Derek Fisher, Big Game James Wood. We got Mike Trudell down there at the arena. The Lakers with a huge Game 1 victory over the Houston Rockets. A great defensive performance, guy. They keep the Rockets minus KD under 100 points. Efficient offensively, guys. 61% from the field, 53% from three. Great Luke Kennard game, 29 assists. But we talked about this all week, and here's the key. Would they have enough offensively without AR and Luka? Balance tonight, Big Game James. All 5 starters contributing with at least 14 points. Contributions off the bench, and they get it done 107-98.
Great performance at home, Gator. Game 1, the Lakers established something that they held on to for the last month and a half or so, and that's just good chemistry. Regardless of the guys that were out, they had, good rhythm. The defense had picked up, and I think, in this first game tonight, they did a pretty good job of collectively, doing what they had to do to win the game. Houston shot 93 shots. They were 39 of 93. The Lakers had 66 shots. The one thing that worries me is the 23 offensive rebounds. That could bite you in the future. But overall, collectively, I thought they did a really good job. Luke Kennard, what a presence he was in this game.
I mean, a really quality win considering the circumstances. Obviously, Kevin Durant, changed things at the last minute for the Rockets, but the Rockets team, they're a good defensive team. And so even with Durant out, defense still travels. A lot of their guys that are the gritty, tough defensive players still played in this game. So to shoot the ball 61% from the field, to be able to get the quality of shots that you got against a good defensive team without 2 of your best offensive players, that's something that you can build on as this series goes on, that you can get the type of shots that allow you to shoot good percentages. And then the second thing, you started with the Lakers defensively, that can travel as well. Of course, Kevin Durant will change everything whenever he decides to return or can return.
On point.
Yeah, I mean, the added parts to his game, it's one thing to be a really good shooter off the catch, moving off screens, etc. But he has a confidence to his game even when he's making decisions off the dribble. He's just really confident, calm, has a great understanding of the game, and just hadn't seen him play enough. I mean, obviously, he was in Atlanta, Memphis previously, etc., but hadn't really seen him play enough to understand how many more things were in his game. And it's almost a blessing that we're getting to see this with Austin and Luka out, because fingers crossed they are able to return at any point. The more guys you have that are versatile and that can make good decisions with the basketball, that's what makes you a really difficult team to cover in the postseason especially.
Can a run like this that he's having change a narrative on a player?
It can. It can make you a lot of money in this league too, Geets. It's to be a great shooter is one thing, but when people really start to see you as just a good basketball player, more teams are now interested in how you could fit in with their personnel. And so him having this runway and this opportunity on a big stage like this, it's extending his career and his journey, to be honest.
Balanced scoring from this Laker team as we look at all 5 starters, guys, with at least 14 or more and such efficiency. LeBron, of course, with the 19. Marcus Smart, the 15, Rui, the 14, DeAndre Ayton. We'll get to him in a moment with a big game, 19 points, 11 rebounds, and of course, Luke Kennard leading the way with 27 points. I want to talk about LeBron, guys, because the way he started this game, and we talked about it all week, at 41 years of age, year 23, this was nothing new to him to lead a team into the playoffs and to be the primary guy when you start in a game one. No one's played more playoff games in the history of basketball than LeBron James. His first quarter line, James, I love. 2 for 2. 8 assists.
Yeah.
The most assists he's ever had in a first quarter in a playoff game. And he ends up just 2 rebounds shy. 19, 13, and 8. And you look at the fourth, when they needed buckets, there's LeBron with 9 fourth quarter points, 4:05 from the field.
Yeah, that's the bus you want to get on. You want to catch a bus, and his teammates got on. But LeBron, you know, he was explosive early. He knew that he had to show some leadership and some intensity and, you know, some pace to get his teammates going. And I think he did a hell of a job with the 8 assists early. Very physical, you know, just very smart and just taking control of the game. But mostly importantly, involving his teammates, because he knows how important it is to have a Luke Kennard, a Rui, and to get Ayton involved. And he did that early, and I think that's what set the pace for them going forward.
Big game. Stick with me here, and I want you to jump in at any moment. Like LeBron's athleticism over the course of his career, he's been one of the most dynamic, electric players we've ever seen and will see. We could say this is his Magic Johnson era right now, though.
Yeah.
Where, like, maybe the athleticism has dipped a little, even though he's still finishing a lot of plays above the rim. But to be able to go out in, like, 19 points, 13 assists, 9 rebounds, understanding first quarter, I'm going to get everybody involved, I'm going to get us out on the break, I'm going to get my shooters some rhythm, and then finding pockets where, oh, yeah, I'm going to score, I'm going to hit you with a little jump hook, I'm going to hit you with a mid-post turnaround jumper. Like, to me, watching Magic and watching you guys, like, the way he can just manipulate and control the game without necessarily being the fastest or the most athletic, it's not a downgrade to say that at this stage in LeBron's journey, it could be like a Magic Johnson era where you can still win championships with a guy like him leading the charge.
Spot on. There's no question about it. Spot on. You know, Magic was asked to do a lot of things. Now LeBron is being asked to do, you know, those things as well. But the control of the game, I think that's what I'm hearing. The control of the game, being aware of the moments in the game when he has to score or when he has to get people involved, when he has to rebound, when he has to verbally speak to his teammates. He's doing all of that. That's a great example, great point about Eric, because that's what he's doing now. At 6'9", whatever, 265, dominating the game. Magic went in the post in the latter part of this game when he had to. LeBron that's a great example, Fish.
Yeah, we talked all week about DeAndre Ayton as well, and what a great first playoff game he had in a Laker uniform with 19 points and 11 rebounds. Time to hear from Coach J.J. Redick, brought to you by your Toyota dealers.
JJ, what stood out the most? Just kind of keeping it open. What do you think the biggest reason why you were able to win in the way that you were?
Just thought we were really poised as a team. We had a great next play mentality. Wasn't a perfect game. None of these games are going to be perfect. Got contributions from a lot of people in a lot of different ways, and made enough winning plays despite the turnovers and the offensive rebounds.
LeBron has said in the past that sometimes game one can be a feel-out game, but tonight was a little bit, he said on the court, was a little bit more focused, like he kind of understood the moment and what needed to happen. What did you see from him throughout and just kind of leading through the game?
Yeah, I mean, he displayed great leadership throughout, and I think, you know, we talked all week, you know, about being connected offensively and trusting the pass, and you know, he led us there in the first half, getting 10 assists, and then make some scoring plays down the stretch. Just a fantastic overall game from him, and he gave us all he had on the defensive end. I mean, he really exerted himself on both ends, and that's what the playoffs are.
JJ, I don't want to make any assumptions, but I assume a fair chunk of your time this past week was building a defense that was going to try to stop or slow down Kevin Durant.
Yeah, you're not going to stop Kevin Durant.
How much of an adjustment, to go back to my question about adaptability earlier, was it for you and your staff to kind of figure out what you were going to do once you guys got the KD news? And then I guess, what did it say about your team's ability to kind of take that and put it into application?
Yeah, I don't think it affected our mentality. Again, this is all we've talked about for 2 months is just our playoff mentality, and it's you can't worry about who's in or out of a lineup. You just it's our game plan, it's our standards, it's how we play, and we've built towards that. And I thought our guys just responded well and met the moment. I mean, that's the biggest thing. You got to meet the moment in every game, and they were able to do that. There's a lot that you have to do with Kevin, and you just kind of scrap that and you move on to all the other stuff we worked on.
You were asked about offensive pace earlier in the week. You mentioned that you prefer intentionality as the word. How much could you feel that intentionality in terms of not just what you guys ran offensively, but how you guys were running it, and how much did that, I guess, carry through for the remainder of the game?
Yeah, we did a good job. I think the guys that were, handling versus pressure overall did a nice job of getting us organized, and we ran a lot of the stuff we wanted to run, and we got a lot of good stuff. When we did shoot the ball, we were efficient. We missed some free throws, but again, this is going to be, can we take care of the ball? Over the course of 7 games, can we take care of the ball, and can we limit their offensive rebounds?
JJ, when it comes to meet the moment, Luke Kennard seemed to do that. What did you like about his performance and his overall mindset game tonight?
First, the Lakers do. Let's go to the second.
What were the feeling coming off the court, and where did you think that started for you guys?
Yeah, no, it was great. Obviously, it's great to get the first one, protect home court, do what we're supposed to do. Overall, I thought we executed very well. There's obviously, our 2 main keys are offensive rebounds and turnovers, and struggled a little bit with both of those. Overall, pretty good. I thought second quarter it got away from us a little bit with the turnovers, got a little sloppy there, but we stayed poised and organized throughout that entire game. And credit to everybody, coaches, teammates, everybody for just believing in each other throughout that and the entire course of the game. And overall, like I said, it feels good to get the first one.
The asks of you, without Luka and without Austin are more, just with ball handling, kind of creating shots and such. And remember the Dallas game, you had the triple-double, but you didn't shoot well. How did you manage to do more, but then also hit your threes and find a way to get them up tonight?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like those games leading up to now, I developed a rhythm, kind of playing in that role. It gave me confidence going into the playoffs of kind of doing more and being controlled and poised and looking for my shot when I can. So tonight it was no different. Shots just went in, and again, it's just having that mentality of getting everybody organized when I can and looking for the best shot available, and again, just being aggressive and
Luke, you were kind of late to this team. This group played. Sorry. This group played. 14 games to start the year without LeBron and had to figure it out. And played, a month and a half in the middle of the season without Austin. Kind of had to figure it out. Like, what have you just made of the overall adaptability of this team?
Yeah. I think since I've been here, some guys have been out. We haven't been fully healthy a lot. So it just speaks on the guys in the locker room staying ready, being ready. Guys stepping up in big moments, making big shots. I feel like everybody tonight is especially, even like Smart, he hit that big 3 there at the top of the key. He struggled there from the 3. He was talking about it. He was in his head a little bit, but if you know Marcus, he's obviously a winner. But he hit the big time 3 at the top. Brown had some big shots for us, made big plays. Rui, Da, on the defensive end especially. So everybody played a big role tonight, and I feel like that kind of just speaks to what we've been, the last few weeks.
Game 1 victory. Nuggets, impressive win over the team.
LeBron, what pleased you the most about not just getting the win tonight, but the way your team played?
I just think our composure. Obviously we were going against a well-coached, super athletic. They caused a lot of havoc. I think our composure, even when they made a run at the end of that second to cut the lead to 2, we came out in that third quarter and was able to withstand that and pretty much play the game that we wanted to play. We had a great game plan, and we tried to execute that as close to 48 as possible.
LeBron, you guys had all 5 stars in double figures, 29 assists. We've talked about this week how, without Luke and Austin, it'll be a collective. Just how much can tonight serve as a blueprint for what it's going to take for this series?
I mean, we don't have a choice. It has to be that way. It has to be a collective group. I mean, when you're missing so much firepower like we are right now with AR and Luka being out, we all have to pitch in. We all have to do our job and even do a little bit more, protect one another offensively and defensively, and I think we did that tonight.
I know you're not someone who really applies the term pressure to basketball very often, but Luke Kennard told us the other day he doesn't feel any pressure, and JJ Redick said that maybe it's freeing this position you guys are in going into this series, considering your backcourt, what they're going through. What do you feel like the kind of overall team spirit is, or has been, coming into this?
I mean, we just want to prepare ourselves the best way we can. I thought we had a great week of preparation, but we got to continue that. It's just one game. We protect the home court for game 1, and we got to get better over the next 48 hours going into game 2 on Tuesday. So, I thought we had just good spirit. Everybody was in tune with what we wanted to execute, and we tried to do that.
LeBron, this is the 83rd game this team has played this season, counting the regular season tonight. You guys have had to win a bunch of different ways. How do you think that benefited you guys as you enter a game like tonight, obviously missing your starting backcourt, but also, too, like having prepped a very specific way for a Rockets team you ended up not seeing?
No, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, we definitely prepared the best way we could coming into tonight's game. We understood the situation that we're going to be in, and we understand how our demographic of offensively, how we're going to play had to completely change. So we spent a lot of time with this week, the week leading up to this game, honing in on what we need to do offensively, because it's just a different style of how we play now. When you're missing so much, for us, our game plan didn't change that much as far as who we're going against. Obviously, getting the news late, the late scratch of KD, changed some of our situational things. But that team is still dangerous. Even more dangerous with KD, obviously, but they're still dangerous. And I thought we handled it with a lot of professionalism.
Taylor. Hey, Bron. You've hit so many difficult shots in your career. I'm wondering what you thought of Luke's offhanded hook shot in the first.
The one that went high off the glass? Yeah. It's good to be able to be comfortable with both hands. And him going across, that lane and going to his right hand, being able to kiss it high off that glass, it's a pretty cool to be able to do that. A defense can never just key in on one hand, and it keeps the defense always off balance.
Brian, after game 1, where do you begin, even after a win, to assess potential areas of improvement when you're in a playoff series?
Right after the game ended and I got in my locker. I'm already thinking about situations where we could have been better, thinking about ways I could have been better, putting us in position to be more successful, both offensively and defensively. We have a lot of room to improve. Things that we said that we wanted to accomplish, and some of the things that we did not accomplish tonight as a team. So we got a lot of room for improvement going into Tuesday.
Hey, Bron, is it kind of crazy that of all of the superstars in this series, that the lone one standing was the one in year 23 tonight?
I don't know. There's a lot of crazy things that's been going on this year, for me. I was on the floor with my son, like in a playoff game. That's probably the craziest thing that's ever happened to me in my career. It was just so cool to be out there with him and his brother and sister and his mom in the building and his grandma. That's just insane. My mom get to watch her son and her grandson during the playoffs. That's crazy.
Last two. Speaking of Bronny, so obviously unprecedented on so many levels that you guys got to share the floor together in the playoffs tonight. Did you have a conversation with him at all before? Did you give him any fatherly advice, teammate advice going into this game?
No, listen, we all prepared this week, including Bronny. But shit, just like everybody in their first playoff game, you're gonna be nervous. You could try to prepare for it. You try to sleep as much as you can the night before. You can, do all the things that you do, your same routine and everything. When you step on that floor, I mean, I remember my first, 2006, going against Washington, our first home game, being back in the playoffs in a minute in a long time with the Cavs, and I was just nervous as hell. Like, as soon as I got on the floor, I was just super nervous. But once you get the kind of them jitters out, you get that first game under your belt, now you kind of know what to expect. So, yeah, I mean, he'll be better going into, the next time he get his number called.
So JJ talked about, hey, this is not a perfect game, right? Offensive rebounds, something they talked a lot about, free throws, turnovers, and that's going to be in any game. But Lakers come out and get game one and play this kind of efficiency. What's the key to game two?
Recognize, the improvements you needed to do on game one. They gave up 23 offensive rebounds. They want to try to correct that. You don't want to turn the ball over. I thought for this team playing together with this unit, I thought it was really solid, Geeter. So, I mean, for me, they can come out and play with the same intensity defensively, but they got to, can't turn the ball over and they can't give up offensive rebounds.